So, you've said yes to God, you've been faithful, you've prayed, you have sacrificed, and yet nothing seems to be happening. If that's you, I need you to hear this today. God's delays are not God's denials, but they are tests. Let me say that again. God's delays are not God's denials, but they are tests. You see, his timing will stretch your faith, confront your pride, and forge your character. So today on Called and Challenged, we're talking about one of the hardest parts of the calling, waiting on a God who seems to be taking his time. Part 1, Personal Story. There have been seasons in my own ministry where I thought, God, I'm doing what you asked. Why isn't there more fruit? I remember preaching faithfully week after week in my early years as a lead pastor, showing up, praying, preparing, giving everything I had, and not seeing the growth I expected. But looking back, I've grown. And I realize God wasn't building a church around me. It wasn't about me to begin with. He was building something in me. And his timeline was way more about formation than fame. Part 2, Biblical Perspective on Delayed Timing. Let's look at the Bible. Abraham was 75 when God promised him a son. But he waited 25 years before Isaac was born. That's a long time. Joseph had a dream at 17, but spent 13 years in pits, prisons, and betrayal before he saw the promise. David was anointed king as a teenager, but it took over a decade before he wore the crown. In every story, we see the same truth. God uses time to test, shape, and strengthen the ones he trusts. Because calling without character is dangerous, and timing without testing leads to entitlement. Part 3, Why the Waiting is Necessary. The waiting exposes motives. The waiting humbles us. The waiting makes sure we want God's will, not just the platform. And here's the truth. If God gave it to you too soon, it would crush you. Waiting isn't punishment, it's preparation. Hear that again. Waiting isn't punishment, it's preparation. And often, what you call delay is actually God developing your roots for deeper and bigger fruit. Part 4, What to do while you wait. So what do you do while you wait? You stay faithful to what God last told you. You keep praying, even if the answer isn't silent. You stay in his word, even when your emotions wander. You work the field God has you in. Don't waste the season you are in dreaming of the next one. Waiting doesn't mean you are stuck. It means you're being anchored. And remember, delayed doesn't mean denied. Come on, somebody. Delayed doesn't mean denied. If you have been feeling forgotten, frustrated, or even tired in the waiting, I want to remind you, God hasn't changed his mind about you. The promise still stands. The timing is just higher than yours. So drop a comment in the comment section if this hit home for you. And if you know someone who is in the waiting room season, share this with them. Next time in episode 6, we're getting real about critics, comparison, and the temptation to perform. The title for the next episode is When You Are Called But Criticized. Until then, stay faithful, stay focused, and stay called. And never forget, God's not stalling. He's strengthening you. The promise is still alive, even in the silence.